You're always conscious, even while asleep. Every night, you surrender to what feels like a total blackout. A temporary death, a blank space between today and tomorrow. But what if that's not the whole story? What if your mind never really clocks out for the night? New research is pulling back the curtain on something wild. Parts of your brain never actually go to sleep. There's a hidden world of activity that's always on, processing the world around you even when you aren't there. We're about to uncover the groundbreaking science that proves the line between you and the sleeping world is blurrier than you could ever imagine. Introduction. For most of history, we've thought of sleep as a journey into a silent, empty void. You close your eyes, and for the next 8 hours, it's like your personal universe just vanishes, only to reboot in the morning. From our point of view, it feels like we cease to exist. But this idea is being completely revolutionized. The sleeping brain, it turns out, is not a quiet, dormant organ. It's a bustling city of activity, a hidden world of complex processes, and surprisingly, of consciousness itself. This isn't just about the dreams you might remember. It's about a subtle, underlying awareness that scientists are now discovering, a quiet observer that exists even in our deepest, most dreamless states of sleep. We're going to move past the familiar sleep stages and into the strange and fascinating territory of a brain that never truly turns off. So what is your brain really doing when you sleep? The answer will change how you see your nights, and maybe even your entire understanding of what it means to be aware. Section 1. The active brain in the dark. To get this hidden awareness, we first need to update our definition of sleep. It's not just a state of rest, it's a complex, multi-stage journey. We cycle through different phases all night, and each one has its own unique signature of brain activity. There are 4 main stages. The first 3 are non-REM, or NREM sleep, which take us from feeling a bit drowsy all the way down into what we call deep sleep. This deep sleep stage is marked by powerful, slow brain waves called delta waves. Here, your heart rate and breathing slow way down, and you're almost totally disconnected from the outside world. For a long time, scientists thought this was as close to true unconsciousness as we could get. But then there's the 4th stage, REM, or rapid eye movement sleep. And this is where things get weird. During REM, your brain activity suddenly looks almost identical to when you're awake. It's a paradox, a highly active brain combined with near-total muscle paralysis. This is the stage where we have our most vivid, story-like dreams. Scientists can measure the complexity of brain states with a tool called the Perturbational Complexity Index, or PCI. When you're awake, your PCI score is high. In deep, dreamless NREM sleep, it's very low, which reflects a loss of the rich, integrated consciousness you're experiencing now. But in REM sleep, that PCI score shoots right back up, often reaching levels that are comparable to being awake. This tells us that, by a key neurological measure, the brain's capacity for consciousness is fully restored during REM sleep. It's just a different kind of consciousness, one turned inward and free to create entire worlds. This alone proves sleep is not an empty void. But the truly revolutionary discovery is that a connection to the world persists even outside our dreams. Section 2. The smoking gun, local sleep. The most mind-bending concept to come out of recent sleep science is local sleep. For decades, we pictured sleep as a whole brain event, an on-off switch. But scientists have discovered that's wrong. Sleep can happen in isolated parts of the brain, while other parts stay surprisingly active. Think of your brain as a massive city. Local sleep is like one neighborhood shutting down for the night, its lights going dark, while the rest of the city is still humming with activity. This isn't just a theory. You've probably felt its reverse. Ever been driving or reading and your mind just goes blank for a second? That's often a bit of local sleep, a tiny cluster of neurons going offline while you're still awake. Now, flip that around. When you're fully asleep, especially in deep NREM sleep, the parts of your brain responsible for your sense of self and conscious attention go dark. But other areas don't. Researchers have found that the sleeping brain keeps processing information from the outside world. In one study, scientists played sounds to sleeping people and saw their brains analyzing them in a way that was shockingly similar to when they were awake. The audio signals were being processed. The only thing missing were the brain waves linked to conscious attention. In other words, your brain was listening, even if you weren't. More recent studies have even shown that people in various stages of sleep can respond to verbal commands with subtle, unconscious muscle contractions, suggesting there's a porous boundary between the sleeping and waking worlds. Consciousness isn't a single light switch that flips off. It's more like a massive switchboard with countless circuits dimming and brightening all night long. And some are always left on. Section 3. The worlds within, dreams and hidden awareness. This constant background hum is the perfect stage for the most obvious form of sleep consciousness: dreaming. For a long time, dreams were waved away as meaningless neural noise. Now we know they are profound expressions of a unique conscious state. Dream experiences can range from the blurry, thought-like images of NREM sleep to the wild, emotionally charged movies of REM sleep. The key might be a brain network called the default mode network, or DMN. When you're awake but just letting your mind wander, your DMN is running the show. It's the network tied to your sense of self, your memories, and your ability to imagine the future. During deep sleep, the connections in this network get seriously disrupted, which is probably why our sense of self seems to dissolve. But during REM sleep, the DMN doesn't just wake up, it gets rewired. It connects in a strange, hyper-associative way, linking up with emotional centers like the amygdala and memory centers like the hippocampus. This unique neural setup is what creates the bizarre, emotional, and often deeply meaningful landscapes of our dreams. It's a different mode of consciousness, but it is consciousness nonetheless. And sometimes we can become fully aware of this state. This is called lucid dreaming. A lucid dream is when you know that you're dreaming as you're dreaming. Studies show that during a lucid dream, brain regions linked to higher-order thinking, like the prefrontal cortex, which are usually quiet in REM sleep, fire back up. It's a hybrid state of consciousness, blending the wild world of the dream with the self-awareness of waking life. Lucid dreaming is probably the most undeniable proof that a thinking, aware mind can exist entirely within sleep. Section 4. The convergence of science and wisdom. What's truly fascinating is how these scientific discoveries are starting to echo insights from ancient contemplative traditions. For thousands of years, practitioners of meditation and yoga have talked about a witnessing awareness, a subtle, observing consciousness that continues through all states, including waking, dreaming, and even deep, dreamless sleep. These traditions don't describe deep sleep as non-existence, but as consciousness without an object. It's the experience of pure being, without thoughts, senses, or even a self attached to it. It's the silent, ever-present background on which all other experiences are painted. For a long time, this was just a philosophical idea, impossible to prove. But as modern neuroscience reveals a brain that is never truly off, a brain that's always processing information and maintaining a baseline of activity, we're seeing a remarkable convergence. The science of local sleep and the brain's persistent, albeit reduced activity in deep sleep could provide a potential biological basis for what these ancient traditions have claimed all along. Modern science and ancient wisdom, using totally different methods, might be arriving at the same extraordinary conclusion. Something is always listening. Conclusion. So sleep is not the empty void we once thought. It's a dynamic and varied landscape of brain activity. From the unconscious processing of sound in deep sleep to the rich narrative worlds of our dreams and the scientifically validated state of lucid awareness, the evidence is clear. The line between conscious and unconscious is not a hard wall. Consciousness isn't a single flame that gets snuffed out each night, but more like a fire that sometimes burns low, sometimes burns in strange and beautiful colors, but never truly goes out. This new understanding is empowering. Sleep isn't about losing 8 hours of your life to nothingness. It's an essential, active part of your existence, a time for processing, for exploring inner worlds, and for experiencing different sides of your own mind. It's a secret journey you take every single night. If this trip into the mind has sparked your curiosity, subscribe for more explorations into the nature of consciousness. We're just scratching the surface of what it means to be human, to be aware, and to sleep. And as you get ready for bed tonight, just consider this. Who or what is the one listening in the dark?